It's the Yep Yeah Yes podcast with Marissa and Tamika.
Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead.
I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited.
I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Satan. Not today. I value my friendship. You're the cream, and the coffee is life. You bring cream to my life.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Once a week for an hour.
I always drink water. If anybody ever
I
knows,
love that.
I just took a sip and forgot that I had iced tea in here.
Oh, wait, is that a happy surprise or like, dang it?
I guess it's okay. Like I only drink sweet drinks Friday through like Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But I got pizza today for lunch and it came with a beverage. So I was like, can I get water? And she was like, from the fountain. I was like,
Ew.
can I get a like, you know, like a bottle Poland Spring? She's like, no. So I filled it up with, iced tea. So I forgot that it was iced tea that I poured my iced tea in there. Anyway. So for those of you guys that saw my face during that are watching on YouTube and you saw the face that I made, it's not liquor. It's the sweet tea. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea for the teeth. The sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Anyway, so how are you, Marissa?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Drinking my coffee.
All right. Nice.
Probably.
Got that girl look going on. Oh, with the M for Marlo Thomas? The M
what?
Marlo Thomas?
Oh, she has an M cup too?
No, M Marlo is her name. I called her that girl, Marlo Thomas.
Oh, that's that girl?
That's her
Marlo
name.
Thomas?
It's Marlo Thomas. She's that girl.
I didn't realize she's that girl. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. I'm not that girl. I'm that girl.
Mary J has a song. Mary, another M, has a song. She's like, I'm that girl. She has a song anyway.
You are the one who gets all these references. I'm like,
so I was having lunch with my friend today and we went down this rabbit hole of hip hop and it was like,
oh, that probably felt so good.
It's always good because I don't have any friends other than him that I can really talk music with like that. You know what I mean?
To that level, yeah.
Yeah. And he appreciates me. He's like, most girls don't like hip hop. And so like I'm going through this rabbit hole and he was like, who did you do the record with? I was like, Grand Puba. I was like, you don't have it? He's like, no, I don't have a copy of that. I was like, you don't have a copy of my song? He's
you
like,
can buy it for $700.
He's like, you played one snippet of it and told me we will never talk about this.
Never. Yep, sounds about right.
I said, I was like, if I find an extra copy, I'll give him one. But I only think I had like 1 or 2 copies. So anyway, so this month, this episode, we're talking about October, from Bad Appreciation Month to World Menopause Month. We discussed. So my goal was to like basically talk about Domestic Violence Month, right? So
okay,
I was just like, I Google it, right? Because I'm like, okay, what somebody else said, they said it was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm like, how many things are there? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking and I realize, holy shit, there's like 1,000,001 different things this month. Did you know this? I mean, not to mention, like, we're wrapping up Hispanic Heritage Month this week.
Yep. Well, pink is my favorite color, so I always knew it was breast cancer awareness because they sell like mops and everything in pink. So this is kind of like, if I need something new like that, I'd be looking. But I knew that Hispanic Heritage Month, and then I didn't know it was Bad Appreciation Month though.
Like the amount of things that are this month. So I'm gonna share my screen so that we can kind of take a look at, I just don't want everybody to see my shit.
Mhm.
That's the thing about sharing a screen. It's like they let you see the beginning of it. You're like, can I get some privacy? Let me see if I can do it this way. Okay. Let's see. Let's share my screen. Okay, there we go. All right. So National
What?
Economic Education Month.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to go through all these because when I tell you, I have like, it's a lot. But
Celebrating, okay.
what stands out to you on this month? I mean, we said breast cancer.
Celebrating the Bilingual Child Month.
What the hell?
Caffeine addiction recovery. Antidepressant and death awareness month. Oh.
Next page.
What? Eat better, eat together month. Dyslexia awareness month. I'm stupid. German American Heritage, Health Literacy Month, Head Start Awareness Month, LGBT History Month.
I knew that one because people have been saying, this month they've been.
Home Eye Safety Month. Home Eye Safety? Employee Ownership Month. Oh, hold on a second. What? Employee Ownership Month?
What does that mean?
I gotta Google this because this don't sound right.
While
to
you're
me.
Googling, I'm going to go to the next page.
Okay.
We got the National Animal Safety and Protection Month. National Apple Month. I can see because it's, fall. National Arts and Humanities Month. National Audiology Awareness Month. Like, shouldn't I get a discount on hearing aid batteries?
Mm-hmm.
National Chili Month. National Crime Prevention Month. Cybersecurity. Like, there's way too many things going on for this month. It's crazy. Caramel Month. And then we got
Stop. You can't put caramel month like this is with National Dental Health Hygiene.
Wait, which one? I think I went too far.
National ADD ADHD. See, this is Dwarfism Awareness Month. Oh, I have too many things this month to be celebrating.
Ergonomics, family, sexuality, education. So you and your booth thing got to teach your kids about sexuality education. Could you see yourself sitting down with your 3 munchkins? And your booth thing, the 5 of y'all.
Okay, first of all, no. Secondly, I had the talk.
Okay, we've settled on one topic we're going to discuss. Go ahead. You brought it up.
I had the talk.
So how did it go? Like start
in the car.
I'm in the car.
I'm in the car. And I'm like, okay, hey, you guys, anybody got a request? And
Like you're talking about music, right?
Yeah. I open up YouTube and they're like, I have a question. This is the older one, the boy older one. And I go, what's up? What's sex? And one of them goes, I'm not ready for that. And I go, okay. He goes, yeah, but I am. I don't want to learn something from my friends. And she goes, oh yeah, that's true. And the little one goes, yeah. Is it this? And goes like this with his hand. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, what does that mean? Like you just like someone holds their hand like this and you hold your hand like this. I thought it was like kissing or something. And I was like, oh, I thought it was like an actual like hand gesture. And it was very uncomfortable. As like I'm trying to explain it, I'm very clearly very uncomfortable. But it was very like matter of fact. And they were like, that goes where? That's disgusting.
Wait, was all 3 of them were there?
They all agreed that they're ready to know what it is, but they wouldn't tell anyone else. But they were like, and then wait a minute. So who puts that there? Like you do, or do you have to go to a doctor? And I was like, and they're like, wait a minute, how do lesbians and then how do gay people? And I was like, it got to the point where I was like, okay, these are layered questions and there's so many more things. Let's just focus on this right now. And it was like, listen, what I want you to get out of this is that respect your body, respect the body of someone else. Consent is very important. And they're like, what's consent? Like, that you both agree. And they're like, okay. And they're like, what age do people start doing this? When you're older and you feel ready, because there's emotional components to this. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, now imagine you kiss somebody. Don't you feel like you're connected with them? They're like, I don't know. So yeah, so clearly you're not ready, right? Okay. And they're like, oh my God. So hold on. They're like, hold on a second. So a scrotum has sperm and you pee out of the same place that you make life. I was like, yeah, that's disgusting. And you had to do this? And I go, we're not talking about me right now. Don't even think of me in those terms. And they're like, then they go, wait a minute. Nana did this 4 times. Don't think about Nana. And they're like, wait a minute. So people out there are just doing this? Yeah. Like, they're like, it sounds so gross. I'm like, I'm uncomfortable.
God.
It was like very matter of fact. I tried to be, and because we were in the car, thank God, like I'm looking and I'm like, I'm so glad they're not looking at my face. But it was like it was more like, let's plow, pun intended, plow through this, like the actual part of it, and then get into the more like layered portions of it, like feelings, emotions, consent, all that stuff. But it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There's like funny things that like I don't want to share. I'll share with you later. But it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, like everything don't need to be shared, basically.
Yeah, like
It's
there were
not
questions.
terrible. Like they're hearing it from you.
Yeah,
So
and all
that's the
I heard,
important part.
and it's so funny because I heard your voice in my head, like you don't want them to find out from somebody else, and they find out the wrong things. And I kept hearing your voice. And I'm like, just answer the question.
If
Just
they come
answer
to you,
the
you gotta
question.
know that they're gonna,
Yeah, they're
answer.
gonna get an answer. And it was funny too because it's like the little one is all like, and he goes like this. He goes, wait a minute. I was watching a movie and there was a girl and then my blanket was like this. What's that? And I was like,
Wait, what?
yes,
Confused.
yes,
No, I'm
yes.
confused myself.
He was telling me he had an erection because he was watching a movie and a
Oh,
girl was in a bathing suit. Yeah. And he's like, is that normal? Because I thought like maybe there was something wrong. And I was like, no, that's normal. And he goes, is that going to happen a lot? I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, well, why did it happen? I said, well, your blood rushed to your penis. And he goes, but why? And I go, you found something appealing about what you were looking at. And he goes, is that? And he goes, so hold on a second. So I was looking at the movie and it was a Bruce Lee movie of all movies. And this girl has a bathing suit. And he goes, wait a minute. He goes, so like me looking at her titas, boobs, he's like, I was looking at her titas and I kind of wanted to touch them. That's okay. And he goes, I'm like, you can't just randomly go around like touching like people. He goes, no, I won't. But it's okay that I had this feeling and then my blanket made like, and I was like, uh-huh. And I'm like dying on the inside because I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to talk about this.
So
Yeah.
let's go back to let's move on. I can't. It's too much.
Wait a minute.
Say like tell me more, and then you like, why did I say tell me more? Like I'm not ready.
Wait, hold on a second. This is what I love about October. Hold on. Wait. We have National Dwarfism Awareness. We have National Depression Education and Awareness Month. National Go on a Field Trip Month. National I'm Just Me Because month, National Kitchen and Bath month. Like, make it make sense.
It's so funny because this morning I was getting ready for work and I was watching the Jeffersons, and there was a clip where Florence was talking about a field trip, and they went to the Statue of Liberty. And I was like, wow, I went on a field trip to the Statue of Liberty. Like I went, and then I started thinking about your kids. I'm like, do they do that do they go on field trips?
No,
That's
no
crazy.
field trips.
Like these kids ain't gonna know about a real field trip. Not a field trip to like outside, but like
No, like
get
a real.
get a letter signed, bring a bag lunch. We're
Yep.
getting on a boat
Yep.
in Manhattan, and we're
Yep.
taking a ride to the Statue of Liberty.
Yep. And don't they do that in like 5th grade?
I don't know what grade it was, but I just know that I did that. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Next one, I can't see the first one. What's the first one say?
National Liver Awareness Month.
No. Do they
This
mean
is like-
eating liver or your own personal liver?
I think your own liver.
Oh.
Pet CBD month, pasta month, orthotic health month, non-GMO month,
Orthodontic,
National-
not orthodontic.
National Orthodontic Health Month. But then you've got like things like National Roller Skating Month, National Sarcastic Awareness Month. Like
I
the
love
whole,
that
like,
one. I love that one.
of course it's in October with the rest of this shit.
I love it. I love it.
Popcorn Poppin' Month.
National Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. I mean, there's some of this stuff should have their own month.
But it's like you got all this in the same month. Like this is like trivial shit and like, oh my Lord, this is a spectrum. So, oh my God, you have SIDS and pear and pineapple month at the same time.
It's
How
crazy.
is this? How is this? And then at the end is Positive Attitude Month.
Like at the end, right? I don't think that, it's not the end of it, but it's like on this
Yes.
particular list, on this particular page.
You spinal bifida,
Like,
National
wow.
Sausage Month.
Polish American like Polish Americans, like they ain't get no love because it's
No,
all about Spanish Americans, Hispanic Americans. Meanwhile, Polish is like, what about us?
we'll
Like, can
toss
we
you
at least
in there
get the
to
other half of
October.
the month?
Well, it's
I mean-
Positive Attitude Month, so let's stay
Toilet-
positive.
Toilet tank repair month.
Stop.
Crazy.
How is that not on a commercial?
I don't know. I don't think people know. But I like, is this real? Then we go
Somebody's
to the
missing the
next one.
boat.
I love this one.
Raptor?
Squirrel Awareness Month, different than Squirrel Appreciation Day in January.
Wait, squirrels got 2 days. They got a
No,
whole
they got
month
a month
and then
and
a
a
day.
day. They got a month and a day.
That's a lot more than, oh my God. So a lot more than February.
So one of the things on this month that I wanted to get into was the domestic violence. Specifically, you know, how we feel about it and so forth. So I'm gonna pull up a picture. Obviously I said domestic violence, so you know where I'm going. So we got a picture of Tyga, the rapper, with his ex-girlfriend Cameron Swanson. She alleges that she was beat up by him. He wouldn't allow her to leave home and he beat her up. He says that she was trying to break in and he didn't do that to her. Regardless, she's got the black eye. And I feel kind of weird because all these people are like, she's clout chasing, she's this, that, and the other. And I'm like, there are a lot of clout chasers, but you rarely hear them go this far.
I don't know how I feel about this. I saw this.
I'm like, whatever. I believe her.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things like, you know, a bully knows who to bully.
Right.
And we're like, oh, he never did that before. He was with homegirl for so long. I bet they were annoying. But a bully knows who to bully.
My thing about it too is like, you know, I don't trust nobody that's got the kind of checkered past he has. Like, I just,
Yep.
you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like
Yep.
dating Kylie when she was like a
A baby.
minor. Yeah, like I'm just like, who knows what kind of situation they had. And then like with Black China, and it's like a hot mess. And
And
so it would not surprise me that he did do this to her. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you see things in the Shade Room or, you know, any of the other blogs, and you're like, you want to read the comments. And this is one of the ones where I started reading. I was like, I can't, because it's like, I have never been in this kind of situation, but my mother has. And just
yeah.
to see people like blame the victim, like you just automatically was like, oh, she trying to, you know, she trying to use him. And like, really? That makes no sense. She didn't sue him. She just said, this is what he did. He ain't got no money. She's saying, you know, like people like, she just wants his money, this, that, and the other. And I'm like,
What money?
people
What?
will
He
always
doesn't
come up
even pay
with
child
something.
support.
Exactly. Like people always come up with some kind of excuse as to why a woman is doing what she's doing. You know what I mean? And it's disheartening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things where you gotta
You know,
believe
the
women.
strength.
Believe
I
Black
have to.
people, believe women, believe people. Not
The
that she's
strength
Black,
that.
but I'm just saying, like, you know.
But the strength it takes to put yourself out there like that, especially with the state of the world, like, and
Right.
how vile people are when you're here speaking your truth and they just want to spit on you for no reason, and to put it out there like that, you know, that takes a certain amount of strength, and good for her. And hopefully she finds peace with that. That's terrible to deal with. No one
I
should have to deal with that.
no. And nobody wants to like, what did she hit herself? I've only seen that in movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. It's just, then you think about like the Gabby Petito situation where they said she was strangled to death. Like, you know how much strength you have to put your hands around somebody's neck and
And that's for a long time.
kill them and watch them die. I
think about her mom and her sister.
think about her whole family, her father.
Well, I only know the mom and the little sister. I don't know the two brothers and the dad. Well, I kind of know the dad, like,
Well, see,
casually, but
this is something you're telling the audience for the first time. So that's why I'm
oh my bad.
like, I know that, but the
Yeah.
audience doesn't know that. You know what I mean? That's why I said that. But yeah, you have personal knowledge of her, you know, her mom or whatever. But anybody that loses their child, and like, you should never have to bury your children. Number one.
No matter what the circumstances.
And then number two is like, that way, you know, it's like, ooh.
Now I want to flip it though, because you brought up that situation we're thinking about Tiger. Like, what do you do when it's your child?
I think like I think a responsible parent, like a good person, a good human being, be like, I'm gonna stick through you regardless, but that means you got to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Confess. But I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put money on your commissary. I'm gonna be at
What you gonna do this time? Yeah.
right, and I'm gonna do it with you. I'm gonna write you letters. I got you. I will take your calls.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you go to heaven, I mean, I ain't never been there, but I'm inclined to believe God's not gonna be like, how much money you made. If God says that, it's gonna be like, and how much did you give away? How much did you donate? God is gonna be like, how did you treat people?
Where was your heart?
Yeah,
Where was your kindness? Where's your compassion?
it's just crazy, so crazy. So, you know, my thoughts are with, you know, all the people out there that are going through domestic violence issues right now, especially, you know, as we commemorate Domestic
And
Violence Month.
and listen, if you're a parent, and the reason I'm saying it like this, if you're a parent and your child's significant other comes to you with the whole like your child put their hands on me, fucking believe them. Have the conversation.
Right.
Have the conversation, because there could be children involved. There could be multiple layers involved. Have that conversation, as hard as it is.
I just, I don't know. I'm gonna put up this what do you call it? Phone number. I'll read it too. Where's my share button? Oh, here we go. 24-hour crisis hotline, 954-761-1133. Once again, 954-761-1133 for women in distress. You know, reach out if you need the help. And
It's not a shameful thing to ask for help.
no,
It's not a shameful thing to say, admit, listen, you're in this situation, get yourself out.
yeah,
Protect yourself.
Yep.
Protect your peace. Protect those around you as well.
Yep. The one other topic I wanted to discuss, we didn't get a chance to speak before we did the show. So forgive me for not having this conversation with you beforehand, but I do want to just touch on breast cancer awareness. I know,
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know, and just cancer in general, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I lost one of my grandmothers to cancer. You lost your mom. We've lost other members of our family, but those are
Yeah.
people that were really close to us. And I just
Right.
want to, you know, my grandmother, by the time she died, the cancer spread everywhere. But I do want to just say one thing about her is that not a day goes by where I don't feel her. I love her so much and I miss her so much. And I just feel like my family's not the same without her. But I don't know. The pain never goes away.
It doesn't. That's what's one of the things about grief, is that people, I feel like those that haven't experienced it to like such a magnitude, they expect like, oh, it's been 20 years. It's been this how many years? Like, you'll be fine. Yeah, it got easier in terms of like, I don't feel like an anchor weighing on my feet every time I walk.
Right.
But here we are, how many years later, and we're still thinking about like the way she made you feel when you walked into a room. Not many people can do that. You know, how warm and embracing she was, and not with material things, with who she was. So it's one of those things that grief is lifelong. It never goes away. But one of the beautiful things of grief as well is that it teaches you things. It teaches you value of time, value of connections, value of the way you treat someone and the way someone treats you.
The other problem with that though too, like for me, like I had a moment of that today. It's like, for me personally, I'm always on edge. My dad called me this morning and I was like, oh my God. Like he never calls me this, you know, like why are you, I hung out with him last weekend. So I'm like, usually now it's like, okay, it'll be 2 months from I hear from him again. So for him to reach out to me a week later in the morning, I'm like, hello?
But
He's like,
that's,
hey babe. I was like, oh, okay. Then I'm like,
oh, but that's your trauma response. That's your trauma response in how you've connected your relationships with people.
but it's also based out of grief because I don't want to feel that pain. Like
Yeah.
that pain never goes away. And I just remember those moments where it's like, she's gone. Like, that's it. Like, there's no more, like, one more kiss, one more I love you. That's gone forever.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that feeling, and I don't like to go through it. So whenever somebody in my family that normally doesn't call me, especially that early, it's like not even 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Whoa.
I'm
Why you
driving
calling?
to work. It's not even 9 o'clock. I'm driving to work. And I was like, oh, I'm like, do I answer? Like, I'm driving. I missed my exit and everything. Like, it was a mess.
Oh, see?
Like, he doesn't know that. Like, he'll only
Yeah.
know if he listens to the podcast. But, you know.
I think about just like those moments where you feel it, you're like that like, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh no, oh no.
Well, just, you
Anyway.
know, to all the people that have survived breast cancer, you know, our thoughts are with you, and, you know, keep fighting the good fight. I heard someone say today, when you get cancer, you always have cancer, even when they say you don't have cancer.
Yeah.
You just always have it.
And I appreciate those people on social media who love to post how, like, if you have cancer, eat more leafy greens, it'll just go away.
The internet doctors, gotta love them. Speaking of fake, oh, you just put a thumb up. You did that and you put it up?
How did that happen?
I don't know. You keep pressing.
I
You do. I don't know what you be doing. You be pressing buttons. Anyway, I don't know. But
I digress.
I digress. I do. It's funny that we're talking about that though, because the internet doctors is going to bring me to my thoughts. But first,
it's time for Tamiekas Thoughts.
Yes, it is. So I've been listening to this podcast called The Dropout about Elizabeth Holmes, the woman who founded Theranos under disreputable circumstances. Aside from the lies and betrayal, the thing that fascinates me is that she was able to draw so many powerful men into her web. From US generals, US presidents, lawyers, businessmen, and the like, she got them to invest in her company. I'm talking Rupert Murdoch, Henry Kissinger, the Walton family, aka Walmart, and even former Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos. But how? It amazes me how people can be swayed by a look and fancy talk. Do people just want to believe in something so hard that they will let common sense fly out the window? I'm still trying to understand the lure of a woman who dropped out of college with no scientific background, somehow was able to convince people to invest in her scientific technology. Do you know how hard it is for me, Tamika, to convince my cousin to fill up my gas tank when she borrows my car? I'm definitely doing something wrong. Anyway, check out the podcast. It's not an ad, it's just on my mind, but check it out. And then maybe next month we'll do a show about deception and get into the thick of it all. Until then, Marissa, where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter. Yep, yeah, yes, the Yep, yeah, yes podcast on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube and any smart device. Just say said device. Please play the Yep, yeah, yes podcast.
I like it. All right. Well, y'all, thank you for listening. And I guess until next time, I know the show was a little shorter than usual, but we ain't got nothing to talk about. It's like the same shit every week. Deal with
No,
it.
it's not.
I feel like it is.
It's not.
We recycle topics, but
we add something to it.
we zhuzh it up.
Zhuzh.
Zhuzh it up.
Make it different. Make it different.
Yeah.
Nothing's new, really.
Nothing's new. All right, Joe. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.